Judd and I were having coffee the other day, Judd Apatow that is, and he told me that I need to look at cinematic moments in my life when it comes to coming up with ideas for my movies. When I say we were having coffee, well, I was having coffee, he was the one doing the talking. I mean, he'd tell you the same thing too if you did his masterclass. I'd spent a week outlining an idea that I thought would be Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants meets Eat, Pray, Love. But after a date with my husband, he highlighted that 2 of the 4 stories had him at the edge of his seat.
This film reminds me a lot of The Holiday. I really think you're onto something with these 2 storylines, and I would cut everything else out and just use those if I was you.
Now, if you've been following my journey, then you know that Nancy Myers is a screenwriter that I admire enormously. So to have my writing compared to hers, even in the smallest way, especially by my husband who does not mince his words, well, I was pretty sure that I would have to change course and re-outline. After the outlining phase, I couldn't get myself to start writing. I wanted to face the blank page, but I had a few days where life seemed to be overly generous with the lemons it was shooting my way. I needed a change of scenery. I needed a fresh start. I needed to get away. So I ran away to write my screenplay. I had 2 to 3 hours that I could allocate per day for the next 4 days, which is a total of roughly 12 hours. And I wanted to complete my first draft of my film, Week of Wow, in that time. I felt prepped and ready, and the ambience of a coffee shop gave me the push I needed to face the blank page and start. I had my beat sheet, my step outline, a summary of the 2 main characters, and then for inspiration, a copy of The Holiday close by. A few decaf coffees, a delicious breakfast, and 3 hours of writing later saw me conquer Act 1. It was shorter than most Act 1s because I moved the debate from the first act to the second one. Such a rebel, I know. But this gave me the confidence that I could do this challenge in far less than a total of 24 hours because my first session saw me get a good quarter of the way. I enjoy writing a setup, but the next day saw me approach Act 2 with more enthusiasm than usual. I should also mention that I haven't been running away alone. My mom has been joining me. She is filming a series on her channel where she reviews breakfast spots.
So welcome to the breakfast review part of this video.
Anyway, she's been filming me while I've been writing away. An accountability buddy is scientifically proven to help you achieve your goals. And having someone work on their own thing while I was working on mine not only made it more fun, but it also motivated me to do the work. But as fun as that session was, I had multiple scenes that needed my attention, and I couldn't finish Act 2A within the 3 hours I had allocated for that day. So that night, I tried my best to create time to work on the film. I've been working for just over half an hour, and I think I'm going to call it a day now because I'm exhausted. As the clock started commencing my next session, I first paid attention to the scenes I never finished for Act 2A. After about 20 minutes, I approached Act 2B. This is the part where the bad guys close in, where everything is lost and where there's the dark night of the soul. Writing this part felt like I had a knot in my stomach. Parts of it felt fun to write, but other parts saw me beat up my main characters to the point where I felt sorry for them. That tension and conflict kept me at the edge of my seat. As thrilled as I was to complete the scenes I had prepared to write, I saw that I was falling behind on the typical page count for a feature for this part of the film. But going into day 4, 10 hours split over 3 sessions and an inspiring location to write, I approached Act 3. I quickly noticed that I didn't have a lot of scenes here, which was motivating because I wanted to get my screenplay done so that I could celebrate with cake. There's nothing like a good incentive to do something, and for me, facing the blank page was a lot easier when I knew I had a good decaf coffee on the way, a yummy breakfast with no dishes to clean afterwards, and an inspiring space to work. I wrapped up on day 4 celebrating in only the most delicious way I know how. I definitely don't live like this every day. But I did what I needed in order to get my first draft out of the way so that the real work could start.
Although what I wrote doesn't meet the typical length of a feature film, it's a little bit shorter, but it's quite close. So I'm proud of myself, and there's a lot that I get to look forward to when it comes to editing this version as well as starting the second draft. So thanks for running away with me as I wrote my screenplay. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and I will leave a video for you in the end screen that I think you'll enjoy if you enjoyed this one. I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.